Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this Hope You're Listening.
Hi.
Lindsay, hello.
Did we do
Hello.
it?
We did it. We did it. A little bit of
Great.
technical challenges. I'm not as experienced as Lindsay is with this, but I'm so happy to be here with you, Lindsay. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for joining us.
My
For those of
pleasure.
you who don't know, Lindsay Lane is a digital influencer. She's a mom. She's an entrepreneur. She has parlayed her incredible sense of fashion into a community and a business that is really an inspiration for many. In fact, for over 276,000 people who've joined her community. And we are so lucky to have Lindsay as such a supporter of Women for Women International. She's come to our events. She's posted our information. You're even planning another event for us.
Yes.
So Lindsay, thank you very much. I would love to start by just hearing, how are you doing? These are just insane times.
Yes, they are indeed. Every day is different right now. And I think that's very, indicative of the news just changing every day. Um, Originally, everyone was saying we were going to be here for 2 weeks. And now I've been quarantined for 40 days with my family. So I'm out in Long Island. So it's just, I think every day as the news changes, my emotions are changing, as I'm sure the entire world is. And it's just, it's a scary time. It's a scary time.
And
How are
yet I saw
you?
you posted. I'm doing all right. And it's, the opportunity to speak to incredible women like you and the women we serve and their staff. All of that keeps me going. It really is this ability to stay connected even when we're quarantined. But one of the things that really struck me on your social media, you said that the only thing more contagious than COVID is positivity and love. And so
Yes.
even amidst the challenges you were just describing, you have been working to maintain that positivity for your community. Can you talk a little bit about that? How do you keep that going?
Sure. Well, I'm just a naturally positive person. I think that's just something that you're born with, that like innate ability to just lift people up. My mother's a very positive woman, and I was just raised in that environment. And um, when I learned that, I just really feel like my mission in this space, even before COVID and being quarantined, is to help women feel empowered and good about themselves, and inspired, no matter what their situation is, or their background. So now more than ever, I feel that responsibility to help women feel safe when we all feel so unsafe. Even I feel that way. So I just feel a great deal of responsibility right now to give that to my followers.
And you've really cultivated a sort of quite an open dialogue with your followers and in your community. What are some of the emotions that people are expressing? What are you hearing from your community?
Yeah, so I actually just did a poll on this, and I found it so interesting because I'm very open about my feelings, of course. Like I want everyone to know that like I have really crappy days too. And like in fact, this morning I had a really stressful morning with the baby. Um, and it's like things that people don't see all the time, but I try to express as much as I can for them to understand I'm not a robot behind my phone. So I just think like, I'm sorry, Lori, like, you have to repeat the question because I'm like braining right now. This keeps
So
happening
real.
to me. I was on a Zoom call last night with followers, and I was like, "Can you guys repeat the question?"
No, it's exactly what you're saying. It's like, how are people feeling? And one of the things people
Yes.
are
Okay.
feeling
Yeah.
is,
Thank you. Thank you.
I call it
So I
Swiss
did a.
cheese brain. It's like, you
Thank
got to
you.
repeat 7 times. Like, I just,
I
no more
know. I'm like,
information can come in. Like
and
today
when
we've
that
heard it's
happens,
20,
like the thought really goes away. Like it's
no.
so freaky. So I recently did a poll regarding, what people were feeling. I wanted to make sure, I just wanted to check in. I do these like mental check-ins. And a lot of my followers, scared, they were sending emojis, they're pregnant and frightened. Their weddings are canceled. Their bat mitzvahs are canceled. Their, going to church is canceled. Um, Honeymoons, baby moons. I mean, just family trips, just life is canceled right now. And I think that feeling of life being canceled, and this has never happened before. This is major. And people are just dealing with that, but everyone's feeling the same. Everyone's just scared, trying to stay positive. And I mean, we're really in this together. Like, as cliche as that sounds, like we really are. And
Yeah.
the unknown is very scary right
No,
now.
and it's one of the things that you and I've talked about, and we always talk about is like, Women for Women connects women here in the U.S. to women who are survivors of war. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you think our realities are so different, right? How is my reality here in D.C. or in New York the same as a refugee in Iraq from Syria, or an Afghan woman who can barely leave her house, or a Congolese woman who's facing ongoing conflict? And yet, it's the same thing in the sense of we have dreams and plans and hopes for ourselves and our families that get interrupted, whether it's from COVID or whether it's from conflict or whether it's from having to be displaced. And then you have to reorient, and you have to go deep, and you have to find that resilience and strength and positivity, and whether you got that positivity from your mom or you learned resilience from overcoming something, that is what's so important. And this ability to connect with each other and the ability to connect with women overseas, it's for me at least, that's part of what maintains that positivity and that connection. Is we're all facing challenges. The challenges we're facing right now are really common, where our life interrupted, as you said. But
Yes,
being able to maintain a community and being able to make connection, such an important part of it. But one of the
absolutely.
things you've mentioned before is a source of your inspiration is Talon, your beautiful
Yeah.
son. And
Thank you.
but at the same time, you've also been open that how are you supposed to raise a son and be here with me today
Yeah.
and have the emotion to be a mom and to support your community and keep going. Can you share with us a little bit about that
Yeah,
and what you've been doing?
absolutely. In the time that we milestones and advancements with his age now. He's almost at the end of this month, he'll be 11 months. So he's just making leaps and bounds. And the positive side to that is that, especially with Aaron, who's, I work from home, and as hard as that is all the time, Aaron really doesn't, work. He sometimes goes days without even seeing Talon because he wakes up super early, goes to the office, and then doesn't come home sometimes till he's gone to bed. So this time that he's been able to spend with Talon is like, we just keep saying, he's like, I'm so grateful for this time. I'm so grateful for this time. And of course, with my parents, everyone's parents are getting older. It's nice. And this is time you just can't get back to spend with him. It's funny, when I first came into quarantine, I was like, oh, like doing my job will be easier because I feel like, I have my parents here to help. And we do have our nanny who we love here to help support Aaron and I. And we're so fortunate to have her. But I'm like, oh, this is going to be so easy. Like I can do, I can shoot content, I can do whatever I want and have me time. No, not the case. Not the case. Like it's so much harder than I thought. I miss Lucy, my amazing assistant. My job is to create content. And sometimes when you do that on your own while balancing, well, actually all the time, if you're doing that on your own, trying to have 277,000 other, children that I genuinely think are part of my family and know they are and feel that so much in my heart to take care of. And also like my actual, family that's here with me in person. It's a great deal of responsibility. But it's responsibility that I want to take on and I love taking on. I've learned to, like I said, every day is, it's a good day or a bad day. Like today I didn't have a good morning, but it's, it's a constant struggle because now more than ever, I feel like I need to be there for everybody, but I also really want to slow down for my family and enjoy this time. And like I said, I don't have help right now doing my job, which makes it challenging to create that content, to post that content, especially in feed posts. Stories, I can like do that in my sleep. I love stories. You know, that's like my happy place. So it's different, but it's challenging in a way that I think I'll be forever grateful for.
No, no, I think you're so right. And then we have to not be too hard on ourselves right now. I feel the same thing. It's like, well, I don't have to commute anymore. Some of my work is
Yeah.
gone, but there's a large community to support and maintain and communicate with, but then also you got to realize that the emotional needs of yourself in this time of uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen, and today hearing that another like 26 million people are unemployed, and hearing that we may have another surge in the fall, you just have to give yourself a bit of time to recognize that we're not machines. Like you said, we're not machines. We have to have a chance to heal. But I do want to come back to you, why it's just fabulous that you're this committed to women's empowerment, and and connecting to us as well as to your supporters. What makes you so committed to women's empowerment, to female empowerment?
I feel like that's a really hard question to answer. And I feel like it's just something that's natural. It comes natural to me. Like in my bio on my feed, it says I'm a forever girl's girl trying to make a positive difference. And I think that since the time I was born, I was really that person. And now I have this platform where I can show that and try to be that friend to people, and that people can go to and lean on for positivity and love and respect. And I truly am trying to make a difference in the space and change the landscape, with the way that people view digital influencers. And like, that's, why I created Sweet 11. And, for everyone who's new to joining this live and who's new to me and Women for Women, I created the first influencer-driven panel that was started by an influencer, me, that gives back to our IG communities and charity. So that the charity that the first Sweet 11 was going to, and Sweet 11 stands for She Uses Influence to Empower. So it's a gathering of people to share knowledge and bring positivity and light into people's lives, essentially. And the proceeds, 100%, were going to Women for Women. So that is still happening, obviously, when the world heals a little bit more, but that was postponed. It was supposed to be March 28th, and it was my first production of Sweet 11, but it will happen soon again. And I think it will be bigger and better than I even expected when it does. So again, like, it's just always been something. I'm a girl's girl through and through. I want to see people do well. I'm a well-wisher. And I really believe like it comes back to you full throttle. And I just want to spread that around. So I'm very emotional about my job because it's much more than what people see. It's not just a photo, it's a feeling that I get. So.
And I think, look, it's special that you reach beyond the community that you're physically present with, and the U.S. and internationally. It's sometimes harder to envisage that connection, but you've done that, and we're very grateful for that, and grateful for you bringing attention to women internationally.
Thank you.
I do have one more question for you, and it's a good one again, which is, for you, what does the hope for the future of women look like?
I really do believe it's very bright. I think we are in this space right now where women are celebrated more than ever, and we can be everything that we want. Like when I was in college, I'm not saying I'm older by any means. I'm still a young woman. I'm 35, but when I was in college, like I was still typing code into like a box computer. We didn't have like entrepreneurial majors, and we didn't have like, oh, you can be anything you want. Like we weren't taught that in college because it didn't exist. But now you can really be anything you want and do anything you want, and empower others and bring people up and be proud of others, and also be a mother and raise a family. And you really can have it all, as hard as it is, because I'm the first one to not sugarcoat things. Like, it's freaking hard. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, it's so easy to be like a working mom and to run my household. Like, it's hard, and I just think like women are really going for it these days, and we're gaining that support from men, right? We're gaining that support more than ever. And like my husband, Aaron, is just so supportive. He might not he's not a part of my brand, but when I first dated him, I'm like, he wasn't part of my brand then. I did this without him. I could do it without him now, and I'm lucky that my followers come to me for me and not for any other reason, of course, talent here and there, they love seeing talent, But I think women are just in this place where the future is so bright and we can do anything we want. And joining forces is so crucial and just so important. Like I
Yeah.
said, like you have to bring people up, raise people up. Be a well-wisher, not a naysayer, really just understand that everyone has a story and everyone's going through their own crap. And I think we forget that sometimes. I think I've been guilty, like who's not, of being like, oh, you're like too quick to judge someone's situation. But when we actually sit back and we're like, wait, she has a story too. Like maybe she's having a bad day, or
Yeah.
it's just we forget sometimes, and we should unite, join forces, and just support each
Yeah.
other through and through.
And I think, spread the gains that we've achieved here, more widely across the world. What you were saying about coding on big mainframes, that resonates with me too.
Yeah.
And one of the silver linings of this response is with the women we serve. So we serve 15 to 30,000 women a year all around the world, giving them the resources, skills, and knowledge they need to be financially independent and to get the support of men and all that kind of stuff. We have a men's engagement program, a community program. But one of the things we hadn't done, because people are non-literate and they're in areas where internet access is difficult, is we hadn't really integrated digital technology into our program. But now it's where we have been able to get phones for women, or women who have phones, where we've been able to most powerfully stay in touch with women in this period of social distancing. So
Mm.
one of the things we're doing now is we are going out and raising money to get phones into the hands of more women, and to be able to find, there are now phones available where, and applications where even if you're not literate, you can still share information and still connect like this. So I do think that, in every crisis there is some opportunity, and us being forced to figure out how to be more connected to women even when we can't gather in our normal classes of 25, and it's going to help women leapfrog in Afghanistan, in Congo, in Iraq, in DRC, in South Sudan, to also being able to take advantage of some of this, the power of the digital world and the connection. Because part of how we all got out of the stereotypes and the norms that were put on us, or the limitations, was
Yeah.
through the media, by saying like, no, oh, there's another way to be possible. I was taught I have to be like this, but I see women being different, and look at them, and
Yeah.
they're powerful and they inspire me. So I think your vision for the future is a compelling one, and you connecting to us at Women for Women and to in the 10 countries that we support allows that vision to be global. So I really want to thank you, and I
Of
want to invite
course.
all of your followers and everyone who's joined us here on the call today. Do come to Women for Women International's website. We have a campaign currently going called See Her, Support Her, and we'd love for you to go and pledge your support. It's just an online pledge to support and spread this movement globally. And in this time of COVID, where in some of the poor countries where there's no health care and people don't have jobs, they're really facing famine as well as being cut off. And the more we can do to connect, the more that we can connect with people like you, Lindsay, been so amazing in support,
Of
the
course.
more
Well,
we
I'd love
can.
to hear, like, just to say that I love to hear that you're getting the women, cell phones. And it's another really important point is like, as a content creator, a digital influencer, social media gets a bad rep sometimes. People are like, oh, she's a blogger, oh, she's an influencer. And, sometimes like I battle with those words too. But, really, I mean, anyone is an influencer if you have some influence on a group of people. You can be anybody. It doesn't mean like it's not just me being, this
No.
fashionista and beauty blogger, mother, it's anything. You could be anything and be an influencer. And that's what I think is so amazing. And now more than ever, being quarantined, people are relying on the influencers to keep them busy, to give them an escape, and to be there for them, So it's just so
Absolutely.
interesting. And I just think social media without it right now, like we see all those beautiful concerts that go on. Like Lady Gaga set up a concert and all the famous people are singing from their homes on their pianos and instruments. Like without social media, those beautiful moments wouldn't be existing right now. And it's so powerful and it's so amazing. And I really hope that, after this also, because this is my job, so I want to stick up for my industry and support all of my fellow influencer and blogger peers, is that, you know, our jobs are so important. And I think people, I hope, my wish is that people will respect us more moving forward with what we do, because it is a full-time job and we don't sleep. It's 24/7. And the not the pressure, because we love doing it, but that feeling like we do have so many other people to take care of other than ourselves and our families is so real. And it's very powerful. And I love social media because of it. I mean, it's my job. I chose to make a living out of it. So I do
No,
love
and
it.
look,
And I
I think
hope
I love
people,
that you know, when I asked you how you describe yourself, because I think of you as an entrepreneur, you called yourself an influencer, and I love that because the power that you have beyond yourself is more than the entrepreneur, is the influencer. And I think that ability to influence is what changes norms. What holds us back as women is often the expectations on us. And for you and other influencers to expand the realm of possibility of what an empowered woman looks like. An empowered woman is a woman who has choice. Women for Women's mission is to make sure that all women everywhere have the full potential to live their dreams. And their dreams might be very different. And one person's dream is different than another's. And we shouldn't be judging people about what their dreams are. We should be enabling women to make the choices. And in our programs, we don't call them influencers, we call them change agents. So people like you, who others look to for leadership, who have the ability to influence how people think, women who people want to listen to. In the way we do it is that every group of 25 women chooses from their cohorts a woman that they really look up to, and she's called a change agent. And then she takes on the responsibility to go out and to share what she's learned, and to help support other women. And that's the way we change the world, through influence,
yeah,
through influencers, through change
true.
agents. So I absolutely agree with you. It's all about being empowered and helping share that empowerment. And I want to thank you for the work you do, and agree with you.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I should be thanking you. I'm very glad to be a part of Women for Women. And from the moment I met all of you, I feel so close to each and every one of you. And Mary, I have all my women, and we're like a family. And I will continue to support you guys through and through and be at all of your events when the world heals and we are in a better place. And then Sweet 11 will be able to happen too. So I'm just so grateful for the love and support that I get from you guys as well.
Well, thank you so much for the time, Lindsay. Thank you very much for the
Thank
time.
you.
And we'll connect again soon,
Yeah,
hopefully face to face in Suite 11. And if things continue like this, we'll find some amazing way to do it online, because continuing to reach out and inspire each other is definitely what it's all about.
I would love that.
Right. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Bye. Thank you to everyone for joining us.
Yes, thank you.